Hello everyone, happy Purple Day today. Um, now, I'm going to try and do this in one take. So far we've been working on flow networks, working out the maximum flow, and we've used the traditional method of crossing out the flow across from left to right and top to bottom. There is a quicker way. It's called a cut, and a cut is shown by dotted lines across a graph, and it separates the source from the sink. Now we use cuts to find the maximum flow from the source and the sink, and also to check to see whether what we've worked out as the maximum flow is actually the correct answer. Now the big tip is cut edges directed from the sink to the source are to be ignored. So let's go back to the very first graph that we worked on. Let me just get back to that. So let's try and look at this graph now and work out the maximum flow using the traditional method. So the traditional method was we cross off the flow, right? The maximum flow that we can have from one end to the other end. So I can use up 100. So I'm going to go and put a 0 here and then cross off and say that there's a balance of 10 capacity left from ACE. So my working out is ACE is 100. And then can I use A, B, C, E? Yes, I can. And how much can I use? I can use 10. So I've got 80 here, I've got 30 here, and I've got 0. Then I've got A, B, E, and I can use 60. So I'm going to cross off that and say I've got a remainder of 20, 0. Now I've got 0, 0. Now the only other way that I can use is from ADE. And I can only use a maximum of 30. So that's 10, 0. So my maximum flow is 110 plus 60 is 170, 200. That's the traditional way. Now the other way is making a cut, but I've got so many different cuts that I can make. Now the first cut I'm going to try is maybe from here. Remember, dotted lines. And normally what I like to do is actually draw a dot to show that those are the edges that I'm going to use up. Next thing I'm going to check is whether they are from source to sink. Source to sink. So I've used up. So I'm going to add up the sum of the edges now. 110 plus 60 plus 40. That will give me 10, 11, 210. So that's not near it to our maximum flow. So we've got to try and find another cut. I'm going to try this one now. So again, I'm going to draw dots there to show that that's the ones I'm going to use. I'm going to use all the capacities. 100 plus 90 plus 40. Have we got that? So that's giving me 230. That's not a minimum cut as well. So what's another cut that I can use? I'm going to use this cut now. So 110 plus 60 plus 30, and that gives me exactly 200. So I know that this is the minimum cut that will yield the minimum result, if that makes sense. So if I compare 230, 210, and 200, so that's the cut I want, right? So that's going to give me the maximum flow of 200. Now have a look at this graph now and see what is the maximum flow, minimum cut that you can use. I can use this one. They'll give me 60 plus 60, 120, right? I could use this one. $20 plus 60 plus 10 plus 10. That gives me 80, 90, 100, right? And in fact, that is the minimum cut. Have a go with working out the traditional method and see whether you get the same thing as I did. You should get a maximum flow of 100. Okay, the last one that I want you to look at is this graph, right? Now, again, you can have so many different cuts, but remember, we're going to ignore the cut from the sink to the source. So, look, I've got the blue cut. I can add up 5. I should add 3, 1, and 6. But because if you look at the arrow, it is actually from the sink to the source. I don't include the 3. So what I've ended up is 5 plus 1 plus 6, which is 12, right? But is that the minimum cut? I don't know. I've got to keep on going. Now I'm going to go try and get the red one, which is 5. I should add 3, but because it's from sink to source, I ignore that. So it's 5 plus 4, which is 9. Now if I go through the traditional way, I will get 9 as well. So have a go, and just you have to try different cuts, and the goal is to try and get the least sum. Okay. Now, this theorem of maximum flow, minimum cut theorem is beyond the scope of our syllabus, so you don't need to know how or why it works, but what you need to know is how to do it, right? Lastly, I've put up all my guided solutions for what we've done this week on Connect. Please have a go. This is as I said, it's a really easy topic to score, and you just have to follow the process. Good luck, everyone, and hope to see you maybe on Tuesday, right? Bye.